Alrighty guys, what you are seeing in front of you is hopefully the final solution to the water problem. Man, this is starting to be a long series. Okay, what we have in front of us here is a little bit of a change up from the last video I told you I was going to do. Yes, Acers, I see you, and let me do video. What we got in front of you here is, first of all, these are some PEX. These are PEX tees, half-inch tees, and there are 4 of those plastic tees under the tub for both the hot and cold water that both go to the inlet and the low water drain. So I'm going to replace all 4, even though there's only 1 that's actually leaking. I don't want to have to bring up that tub again. So I'm going to go ahead and replace all 4 of these with these PEX brass tees. So that should help out a lot. There's 4 of those there. I have a pipe cutter here. This is my PVC pipe cutter, but I'm going to use that to cut that polybutylene, whatever you call it, pipe down there, aka old style PEX, down under the tub. Break it at the connections there so I can repipe them. This is the new mobile home drain, and I found out that I was bitching to you guys about the fact that these drains were plastic. Unfortunately, all mobile home drains or camper drains are plastic. That is just how they make them, guys. House drains, they actually put metal drains in them, obviously, but for mobile homes and campers, they're all plastic. So I'm just going to have to deal with the fact that it's plastic. Unless you guys know of another way I can actually put metal drains in my tub. Anyway, okay, so what we got here is 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 of these PEX half-inch rings. Okay, these are clamp rings, and these will go over the. You saw the video where I was actually fixing the behind the shower, so you've seen these before. But since I'm replacing 4 of these, there'll be 3 for each one of these ends. So I need 12 of these rings to clamp down over and securely keep the water from coming out. Here is my PEX tool that I will be using to clamp down the half-inch PEX right there. And I will be using my trusty vice grips to clamp those guys down with, clamp that tool down with there. This is a multi-tool, which I will be using, mostly I will just be using the needle nose end to carefully screw in the drain once I have everything done there. This is a screwdriver that I'm going to use to put the framing back on once I get all the tub back together. This is the original P-trap for this tub here. Now you're asking, Camel, why didn't you just replace it with a brand new one? I went to go buy one, and it turns out that this is not standard. Some idiot, whoever went up under here and worked on this tub before, they had an issue under here before. This is not a 1.5 inch P-trap. This is a 1.25 inch P-trap. It is somehow they put a 1.5 inch pipe here and then put a 1.25 on this side here. So when I went back to Lowe's, the guys was like, oh, I don't know how they did that. You know, you're going to have to rebuild, cut that pipe. I'm not cutting my gray water pipe, guys. So what I did, you can see here, let me try to focus in on that, is I super glued it, because you noticed that before, and I'll see if I can try to show a clip of it before. But you notice that it was broken right about here into two places. So what I did is I found those two pieces, luckily me, and I super glued that stuff back together. Now you say, well, Camo, it's not going to screw in right. Yes, it will, because what I did is I put my drain in there, and then I make sure it matched when I screwed it in, when I glued it. So it screws down, and it screws down real tight. You see this piece of plastic right here? This is the seal, the rubber seal for the drain. So that's going to screw down on that, and that should keep the water from coming out of the sides there, hopefully. So we're going to reuse that guy, and I want to show you what they did. The reason why a lot of this didn't work, guys, earlier, I said I'll try to get in there and unscrew it, and it didn't. This is why. You see what they did here? When they put this pipe in here, they put all that the PVC pipe or ABX. They probably used PVC. I'm pretty sure they did. They're just that ignorant. But they also put it on the actual knob for the drain here, so I couldn't turn this if I wanted to. It was locked in place. They just jerry-rigged it, guys. So, you know, I'm not going to spend a lot of stress and time rebuilding the bottom of this camper, this tub, because there's going to be a time where I'm going to tear this entire camper down, and I'm going to rebuild it, but that's not going to be today. So I'm just going to reuse this. It's reusable. It'll work fine, and we can get it going from there. The other parts here that you don't see is I have some 1/2-inch PEX cable that I'll probably cut about 1 foot, 2 feet off of it to use between the lines, between the T's, the 4 sets of T's. And I'll show you what I mean when I get down there to do that. Also, we're going to rebuild that framing structure that the tub sits on so that it will be sitting properly and the water will drain towards the drain and nowhere else. That's it. Oh, and the caulking that I'm going to use to actually seal up around the tub when I actually put the tub back together, that's not here. I have to go pick that up. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's everything you're going to need here for this project. Sorry for the blurriness there for right now. So what we're going to do now is head over to the tub, take it up, and take a look at our scenario and start cutting and repiping our T's here. Okay, guys. So I'm just trying to debate on how to attack this. If you look right here, these are right up under this wall. And I'm going to tell you right now, they didn't give me very much slack at all on this side. So it's going to be interesting getting these in. But I think the first thing I need to do is I'm going to cut the T's off of here. Okay. And I'll do these two bottom ones first. Clamp these two. And then I'll clamp these two. And then I'll clamp these two here. This is our bad one right here. Technically, again, that's all we need to replace. But the rest of them, yeah, I can see where it's broke, are going to eventually leak too. So I'm going to replace them all. My concern is this inlet valve right here. That is a piece of plastic tubing. It's not the same as this polybutyl thing, whatever you call it, gray pipe here. And they have a hose clamp there. So I'm afraid that maybe that hose size is not the same. I hope it is, and I hope that I can actually lose the clamp over that. Hopefully, man, I can get that on there properly. That was my concern. But for right now, everything else looks like a 1/2-inch pipe. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all my pipes here, and we'll go from there. Here we go. I'm going to cut these as close as possible to the ends there. As you can see here, the two T's have been removed. What I'm going to do now is we're going to go in and I'm going to cut here and here. I don't need to cut here. This pipe is going away anyway. So here and here. This is a low point drain right here for the hot water. Low point drain for the hot water. This is a little cold water here. So I'm going to cut here and I'm going to cut here. Get this out of here. Then I'm going to cut here and then unscrew the pipe from there. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I want to make sure that I keep these lines distinguished here so I know what's what. So I know that this is hot, this is cold, this is hot, this is cold, this is cold, this is hot. Okay, so now what we need to do is tick off this guy here. Okay, and this should just come right out. And actually, for a low point valve, that actually fits quite well in there. Okay, so that's a good thing. This is a, there we go. That is a 1/2 inch. So that's good. So it's all 1/2 inch. All right, so now we have taken off all of our valves, and I want to make sure that I keep everything separate here. And I know it's water's leaking every camera. Why don't you have a towel down there, please, guys? It's already been leaking. There's rot down here. I don't really care about that right now. Okay, so hot, hot, cold, 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 hot, hot, cold. Okay, so if you look here, these are our old pipelines here. So let's go ahead and start putting the new ones on. Can't really tell yet. That's gotta get cut back further. All right. So what happened here, guys, is that the pipe was there. Okay, you look in here. I have to make sure that when I cut it all the way back the right way. Because if you look in here, I was cutting it really close, and the part of the T was still in the pipe. Okay, so we got everything off of there, as you can see. So what we need to start doing now is piping in our T's. Alrighty, guys. Sorry I couldn't show you me actually putting in these connections, because you would have just been completely blocked. There's no way for me to put the camera here because this bathroom's just so small. But I went ahead, and as you can see, it's got the new PEX cables connectors on it with the rings. There's a piece of approximately 5-inch PEX cable in the center there, connecting the other two lines. One goes to the low point valve, one goes to the low point valve, one goes to the other low point valve and inlet into the box. There's water everywhere in here, guys. That's because I haven't cleaned that up, but I have cleaned the water. I've dried the area around all four of these pipes, and I'm going to turn the water on and see if we get any leaks. Okay, guys, so the water is on and there is no leaks. None. My hands are dry. No leaks, guys. No leaks. We are good to go. So I'm going to turn the water on here. I don't have any hot water, so that's just cold water. But you can hear the water running through the pipes. And there are still no leaks, guys. Woohoo! It's your boy.